In a world where John Dewey, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Maria Montessori, and Aristotle reigned supreme in education philosophy, a visionary educator and philosopher with a non-Western perspectives unveiled a path towards a more inclusive and equitable society via education. Let's explore the progressive teachings of Paulo Freire.
Paulo Freire, born in Recife, Brazil in 1921, faced childhood hunger and lacked resources, emphasizing the link between social class and education. He stated, "I didn't understand anything because of my hunger. I wasn't dumb. It wasn't lack of interest. My social condition didn't allow me to have an education. Experience showed me once again the relationship between social class and knowledge."
In 1962, Freire's method taught 300 farm workers to read and write in 45 days, leading to the establishment of cultural circles across Brazil.
Unfortunately, the military coup of 1964 halted his work in Brazil and changed Freire's life. In June 1964, Freire was imprisoned in Brazil for 70 days as a traitor. Freire was exiled from 1964 to 1985 during the military dictatorship. While in exile, Freire resided in Chile, Switzerland, the United States, and Portugal. Freire didn't return to Brazil until the late 1980s. While in exile, he continued to refine and promote his philosophy on education. Let's examine Paulo Freire's educational philosophy known as critical pedagogy.
Critical pedagogy is an educational approach that prioritizes dialogue, critical thinking, and social transformation. Paulo Freire, most renowned book, Pedagogy of the Oppressed, emphasizes the significance of empowering learners to question and challenge oppressive systems, fostering a more just and equitable society.
Critical pedagogy has three primary principles: development of critical consciousness, humanization through education, and dialogical action. According to Freire, education was supposed to be a liberating force arming learners with the curiosity and capacity to question, engage, and challenge oppressive systems. This was different from traditional Western views on education. Opposed to the banking model of education, teachers depositing information into students' brain accounts, Freire supported problem-based modeling where students and teachers learn in tandem within the context of their realities together.
Freire's ideas have had a profound impact on the development of critical pedagogy and transformative education, inspiring and influencing many great thinkers and philosophers across the globe. Some of these notable figures include Antonia Darder, Henry Giroux, Bell Hooks, and Ira Shore.
Antonia Darder is a Freire scholar, has made significant contributions to understanding and advancing Freire's pedagogy, particularly concerning issues of race, class, and power in education.
Henry Giroux has extensively written about critical pedagogy, cultural studies, and the role of education in nurturing democratic citizenship. He emphasizes empowering students and challenging oppressive systems through education.
Bell Hooks, born Gloria Jean Watkins, has engaged deeply with critical pedagogy and Freire's concepts in her work on education, race, gender, and intersectionality. She advocates for an educational approach that values students' experiences and fosters personal and societal transformation.
Shia has applied Freire's ideas to the American educational context. He focuses on dialogic teaching methods that encourage critical thinking and active participation among students.
These thinkers have extended and expanded upon Freire's foundational ideas, using them as a basis to develop their own insights and contributions to the fields of education, social justice, and philosophy. Through their work, they continue to promote the transformative potential of education and its role in challenging oppressive structures and fostering critical consciousness among learners.
Brazil's education system has deep-rooted influences of religious education and colonialism, leading to limited access for many. The military dictatorship, from 1964 to 1985, tightly controlled education, lacking critical thinking and addressing social issues. Transitioning to democracy in the 1980s and 1990s, critical pedagogy gained momentum to confront injustices. Advocacy for reforms, inclusivity, and critical pedagogy integration persists, inspiring educators to challenge inequalities and foster dialogue for a more equitable system.
Several social and political issues continue to interfere with education equity. Socioeconomic inequality, racial disparities, teacher shortages, political unrest, crime, poor infrastructures, and lack of inclusiveness are tremendous hindrances to education equity in modern-day Brazil.
Brazil continues to face socioeconomic inequality. Children from low-income families face additional barriers to educational opportunities and often lack access and sufficient resources to be successful.
Possible socioeconomic inequality solutions include implementing targeted policies such as scholarship programs, school meals, and financial aid to support students from low-income families, closing the disparity gap.
Black and Indigenous students continue to face racial discrimination. The racial achievement game remains a concern impacting Brazil's most vulnerable.
Possible solutions to racial disparities include creation and promotion of affirmative action policies in education to increase representation and opportunities for marginalized racial groups.
Remote and underserved areas of Brazil are plagued with shortages of qualified teachers. Teachers in those areas are often insufficiently trained. The lack of qualified professionals inhibit quality educational instruction and learning outcomes.
By enhancing teacher training programs and offering incentives to attract and retain qualified teachers, especially in underserved areas, would help rectify the teacher shortage.
Periods of political instability and changing educational policies can disrupt continuity in the education system and create uncertainties for educators and students.
Political unrest solutions include developing a long-term educational plan with bipartisan support to ensure stability and continuity in education policies.
High levels of crime in certain areas impact students' safety and well-being, resulting in lower attendance rates and academic performance.
Implementation of safety measures in schools, collaboration with law enforcement to create safe learning environments, and investment in community-based programs to address violence are possible solutions to curb crime and violence.
Many school facilities in Brazil are considered inadequate. Buildings are in poor condition, lack technology, and are often overcrowded. These subpar conditions hinder effective teaching and learning.
Core infrastructure solutions include investing in the improvement of current school infrastructure, including building new schools and providing essential technology.
There have been efforts to promote inclusive education, yet challenges still persist. Effectively integrating students with disabilities into mainstream classrooms is still a major obstacle for Brazil.
Providing specialized teacher training, resources, support, and accessible learning materials will drastically improve the lack of inclusive education. Brazil faces significant challenges in achieving equal education access and improving educational outcomes. The 2022 UNESCO report highlights adult illiteracy rates, regional disparities, and urban-rural gaps as major obstacles. PISA 2021 results show lagging achievements in reading, math, and science compared to OECD countries, signaling the need to address rote learning and promote critical thinking. Consistent PISA and PARLS assessments demonstrate Brazil's educational system falling behind globally, with low school attendance contributing to the country's struggles.
Paulo Freire, a Brazilian educator and philosopher, left a transformative mark on the world of education with his concept of critical pedagogy. Critical pedagogy became a powerful force for liberation, challenging traditional teaching methods and inspiring learners and educators alike. Witnessing firsthand the social inequalities in Brazil ignited a deep passion within him to address the root causes of oppression and empower the marginalized. Critical pedagogy sought to liberate minds and empower learners to become critical thinkers and active participants in their education. He believed true education occurs through mutual respect and open communication between educators and learners. The problem-posing education approach encourages students to analyze and question the world around them, fostering critical consciousness and an awareness of social injustices.
Freire's critical pedagogy inspires progressive educators worldwide by encouraging active student engagement and emphasizing the importance of students' lived experiences. Modern classrooms become spaces for transformative learning, where knowledge is co-created, and learners become catalysts for positive change addressing societal ills. Freire's legacy transcends time and borders. Educators, students, and activists from diverse backgrounds find empowerment in his vision. Paulo Freire's influential books, including Pedagogy of the Oppressed and Education for Critical Consciousness, serve as blueprints for educators seeking to make a difference. By embracing critical pedagogy, they challenge oppressive structures, foster social justice, and pave the way for a more equitable society. Freire's work reminds us that education is not just a tool for transmitting knowledge, but a powerful means to liberate minds and transform lives. Paulo Freire reminds us together,
we can build a world where minds are liberated, and all individuals have the power to shape their destinies.